Hello fishes, and welcome back to the next episode in our Smash Bros. Mural. I am hosting this week because I realize that I have more stories and fun things to talk about Donkey Kong, which is this week's character, more than Rose does. So I hope you guys enjoy me rambling for the next few minutes. But yeah, Donkey Kong has always been just this important character in my life growing up, and just because it started out as such a young age, with my first real interactions with Donkey Kong as a character was the N64 Mario Party and Mario Kart, because when we got our N64, those were the two games that we got with it, and there wasn't a huge variety of characters back then on those games, so we were very limited on who we could pick. I wasn't the one who played as Donkey Kong. My sister did, in most of the sense, but it was still, like, when we would play Mario Party, we would always use the same four characters, which my oldest sister would do Yoshi, second oldest would be Luigi, third oldest would be Donkey Kong, and then I would always play as Wario, and that would be our setup. That was who we were always. We never changed it, and it kind of just became this tradition almost. And I mean, even now, if I'm just playing Mario Party by myself against computers, I will put the computers as those three characters to match my Wario, because it was just always so much fun to play Mario Party and Mario Kart with my sisters. So to have that bit of a nostalgia, just having fun with it, has always been a blast. And then Mario Kart, we never really had the set in stone characters. We would always just play different characters. It was never as concrete as it was with Mario Party. But then when, a fun story for me and my family were on vacation. I don't remember where it was. But we were just walking down the street. We were doing like window shopping. It was like a small, tourist-esque town. And we were just doing window shopping, and along the road they had those raised flower beds that some towns have. And I was just kind of like walking along the edge of it, not really doing, just kind of messing around, and I fall into the flowers. And that's where I found one of the original Game Boy Advances, so like the long, oval looking ones. And I thought that was like, it was almost like I won the lottery, because I had never owned a gaming handheld device like that. I was probably about 6 or 7 at the time, and this just kind of floored me, because I had never had anything like it before. And the game that was in it was this, like, monster truck racing. I have no idea what it's called. And it was a fun game. I enjoyed it a lot. But I had talked to one of my mom's friends who had Game Boys and stuff, and they had Donkey Kong Country, the cartridge for Donkey Kong Country, and I asked if we could trade, because I borrowed it from them, and I really liked it, and so they were willing to trade. So we traded it, and that's how we got Donkey Kong Country for the Game Boy Advance. And I played it, and and I loved that game to no end. Some of my favorite parts of that game was the barrel levels, where you have to, like, you jump in the barrels and you shoot them, and you have to hit the other barrels, and it's just kind of like this chain reaction thing. I loved those levels so much, because they were just so exciting. My sister really loved the minecart ones, and those ones were also fun. Just the original Donkey Kong Country was so bizarre, it was crazy, it was weird, and it was the perfect combination of all of them. And then we got Donkey Kong Country 2 for the Game Boy Advance a couple years later. It was Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong, and again, same kind of just bizarre, crazy. It was so much fun. We never got to play Donkey Kong Country 3 with Dixie as the main character. It was just one. I can't remember why we never got it. I don't know, maybe it's because they didn't have it for the Game Boy Advance. They might have. But I had played it since then. I have never finished it. But then when they released Donkey Kong Country Returns for the Wii, it just kind of revitalized this whole like Donkey Kong thrill that my family had. Me and my sister were able to play it together, and it was so cool to be able to actually, because before we would like take turns on who was playing. But now when you play it on the Wii, you get to play. Two players can play it together, and it opened so much to being able to experience, Donkey Kong together as opposed to just having to take turns. So that was a lot of fun, and I'm excited for it to be remade for the Switch. Maybe I'll play it for the channel if given the opportunity. But yeah, I just love the Donkey Kong games, Donkey Kong Country. One of the other fun games that I wish I had played more but never got the chance to play more was the Donkey Kong Jungle Jam, I think is what it was called. It was the one where you played Jungle Beat, that's what it was called. Sorry, I had to glance at that at my list. Jungle Beat, where you played the bongos to the beat of the game, and it was for the GameCube. My uncle had it, and when we'd go and visit, we'd kind of mess around with it. I never played the game as the game. I would just kind of mess around. I never played the story, just kind of had the opportunity to play the story for what it was. And that's why I kind of wanted to do the bongos for Donkey Kong's pose in this picture, because I feel like it's just it's quirky, it's fun, it's not too serious, and the costume is just very simple, very, it's not meant to be a super fun, like, serious pose, and I just thought it was a lot of fun to have Donkey Kong be this way for the mural. But overall, just I completely forgot to talk about Tropical Freeze, which I never got to play because it was for the Wii U. And I think there was a version for the Wii, but I couldn't find access to it at the time. So it was never something that we were able to play. So maybe if I get access to that, maybe I'll play it. But yeah, it's just kind of just the perfect amount of serious character and not serious character. Just kind of Donkey Kong as itself is just a kooky character, in my opinion. I love him to pieces. Oh yeah, we also gave him banana socks because we thought it would be funny. If another game that I around the same time wasn't Donkey Kong, but to me as a kid it was like the same thing, was Rampage. I borrowed it. My friend had it for the N64, and I would borrow it and play it all the time. I loved that game. It was just unnecessary chaos and just so much fun all around. But just being able to destroy the buildings as the giant gorilla, the wolf, and the not Godzilla was so much fun. So it's not really Donkey Kong related, but because Giant Monkey my child brain was like, oh, these are the same characters. They're not. They're not the same characters at all. What else? Mario Party, the original one of our like maps that we would use all the time was Donkey Kong, DK Ruins. It was honestly just the best map in the original Mario Party game. That and Luigi's Steam Room were just some of the best maps in the original Mario Party game. But anyway, I think I've rambled enough. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys!